Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries who have joined in for today's faculty development program. We would take another 6 to 7 minutes to start, before which I would request the faculty other faculties who have not joined in to be informed so that they join in quickly and we start the session in the next 6 to 7 minutes. Sushmita, has all the guest speakers joined in?
Yes, ma'am, they are joining.
Okay. Sushmita, has all the guest speakers joined in?
No, ma'am, only two are there.
Okay.
So they are joining in few minutes.
Okay. Pushmita, please allow me to share the screen.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Has the guest speakers joined in?
So for now, like we have three guests, ma'am. The three guests are not going to join.
Okay. So let me start with a very good afternoon to one and all those who are present here. So it is with great enthusiasm that I, Nitya, on behalf of ExcelR, would like to extend a warm welcome for today's faculty development program on generative AI and prompt engineering. So we are incredibly honored to have such distinguished guests, faculty members, principals, and students. The guests for this today's session. So to our respected faculties, principals, your presence is invaluable. So to begin with, let me give you an introduction about ExcelR. ExcelR founded in 2013, and we have our branches at five different cities. Founded by IAM ISB alumni, and we have our headquartered at Houston, USA. We cater to the requirements of individuals, institutions, industries, and we have strong collaboration with premium associations with IIT Roorkee, iHub Divya Sampark, SkillUp, APSSDC, APSHE, Task, KMDC, IIT Madras, Birla Institute of Technology, and NASCOM Future Skills. We have been awarded twice at Deloitte, Silicon India, Analytics India for our exemplary works. To give you a little snapshot on our decade of training excellence, so far we have conducted 60 faculty development program and trained close to 65,000 plus engineering and degree faculties, delivered training programs to students under the student development program, close to 7,50,000, continuously connecting with colleges in delivering webinar, seminar, workshops, close to 500 plus, on the emerging technologies, 30 plus technical courses. And for those students who are successfully trained under our training programs, are being given the placement assistance within our close to 5,000 plus placement partners. And we have a strong collaboration with universities, colleges, close to 2,000 plus. So under our everyday learning program, we regularly conduct student development program and faculty development program on the emerging technologies with hands-on experience. And we also support the colleges in providing them with the NAC and NBA requirements. Post attending the sessions, whether it is for faculty development program for student development program, they are being rewarded with the certificates. This is being consistently monitored through their attendance, which is being that is on regularly attending the classes. So through our EDL platform, everyday learning platform, we do sign a lot of MOUs with the colleges in providing them the student development program, faculty development program, customized trainings, internship projects, and various other training programs. We do a lot of guest lectures, webinars, seminar at the colleges. And all of these training happen through our LMS platform, Learning Management System platform, where the students or the faculties, once they start their training sessions in the ExcelR, they are being given with the login credentials to log in through our LMS platform, and all the classes happens through the LMS platform, and their attendance and the certificates is also purely decided on the through their LMS platform. So during this journey, the students also get exposure to assignments, assessments, and these are also quite monitored. And based on these, again, the certificates are issued to the students. And for faculties, yes, of course, we do conduct not regular assessments, but there are a couple of assessments which happen through the faculty development program. So this is how a LMS will look like. More in detail, we have from our team, Mr. Ramar, who will be taking you through the LMS, and he will provide you with the login credentials and other information related to the LMS. So this is how our LMS platform will look like. The best part of our LMS is a student or a faculty who enrolls for the program will not only be getting the access to a particular training program, but also they will have the privilege to explore and go through the other self-paced modules which are uploaded in the platform. So far, our SDPs conducted are 47 plus, and total number of hours delivered is 1,129 plus. Number of enrollments for the student development program, which is close to 7,50,000, and the total number of participating colleges through this SDPs were 1,600 plus. While the students who are taking up this training program constantly, we have seen and observed that these are the top popular programs where the students are consistently getting trained under our everyday learning program. These are the set of faculty development programs so far which we have conducted, 40 plus, and the total number of enrollments under the FDP is 65,000 plus. Total number of participating colleges under the faculty development program are close to 1,519 plus. And the top uh, faculty development programs which has been requested from the college faculties, HODs, and deans are these: AI, generative AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, data analytics, digital marketing, cybersecurity, chat GPT, data analytics using Tableau, and many others. This is just a few which has been chosen from the actual one. As I had already informed you about the seminars and webinars, 500 plus webinars so far conducted with 50,000 plus participation from the students and faculties around the in and around the other cities. So post completion of a student development program, the student will be awarded with a certificate, which is under the ExcelR. And again, if it is a faculty development program, this is how the certificate which will be provided with. And those colleges who have collaborated with will also have their logos on the certificate. So these are some of our training programs which we have delivered after signing the MOU with the colleges. Once we collaborate with the college, we constantly connect with the college in knowing the guest speakers, and we take the required information. We take the logo of the college and we share the posters created from ExcelR, which gets circulated among the students and the faculty group. So these are some of our recent engagements which we have connected with the colleges and announced the faculty and student development program. Again, this gives a screenshot of the list of student development program which has happened under the EDL platform. Some of our student development program and faculty development program, which was organized by ExcelR, and the certificates which are issued from the same. Our recent engagements with premium associations or connects, wherein at IIT Roorkee, we have trained the students, the research scholars and the faculties on data analytics using Minitab. And this is a student initiative where students from BITS Pilani approached us and we delivered training on the Power BI. This is a CSR activity initiated by ExcelR to provide assistance largely to the final year engineering students, wherein we found the gaps where that they were really good in the technical front, but some of their non-technical skills had to get enriched through our training. So thereby we came up with a 5 subject module in delivering the training on coding skills, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, soft skills, tips and techniques were given to ace their interviews. And this happened from Jan 24 2024 to April 2024. Close to 50,000 plus registrations happened for this program. And since it was in collaboration with IIT Roorkee, I have Divya Sampar. The students were continuously monitored with their attendance and their performance at the that is the assignments and assessments which were continuously given through the LMS platform. Thereby, only 5,200 students cleared the entire training program of 240 hours, and the students were rewarded with the prestigious certificate, which was from iHub Divya Sampur. And for now, for the others who are joining in, they also can experience this 240 hours of the training CRT program, which is through our LMS platform. These are some of our flashbacks on the Skill Up Final Year program. Having only that is from the AP region, we had close to 10,000 plus registrations for the Skill Up Final Year program. These are some of our student development program and faculty development program, which were conducted in the month of March, April. And now we are at today's event, faculty development program on generative AI and prompt engineering. So without much further ado, let me introduce today to our dignitaries from the colleges. So we have Dr. V. Asha, Professor and Head Department of MCA, New Horizon College of Engineering. Dr. V. Asha, having her PhD in computer science with 30 plus years of academic excellence. She is an expert in digital image processing, patent recognition, published 100 plus papers, filed 40 patents, guided funded projects. She's been recognized under VTU, active mentor, and industry academic collaborator fostering innovation in education. So, a hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Ma'am, we
Thank
would
you.
request you to share a few words. Yes, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to all present. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Distinguished guests and esteemed faculty members, I am delighted to welcome you to the 5-day faculty development program on the generative AI and prompt engineering on a collaborative effort between Khalsa College for Women and ExcelR. As a principal of the Khalsa College for Women, a premier women's institution established in 1958, I am proud to see our faculty embracing the cutting edge technologies. With a legacy of 67 years, Khalsa College has consistently demonstrated its commitment to its academic excellence, innovation, and women empowerment. Our institution has strong track record of academic achievements, extracurricular excellence, and sports accolades with numerous university positions and national and international medals. As we focus on faculty development, this program is a significant step towards enhancing our teaching learning process. Generative AI and prompt engineering are transformative technologies that will enable our faculty to create engaging and effective learning experience for our students. I would like to express my gratitude to ExcelR for partnering with us on this initiative. Their expertise and resources will undoubtedly enrich our faculty's learning experience. Over the next 5 days, I encourage our faculty to engage actively with the program, share their experiences, and learn from each other. I am confident that this program will empower our faculty to excel in their fields and contribute to the growth of our institution. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and enriching experience.
Thank you very much, Asha ma'am, for your kind words and motivating the faculties to join in for this
Sorry,
generative
sorry,
AI.
ma'am.
Yes,
That was
ma'am.
not Asha. I think that was somebody else.
I am Dr. Kamaljeet Garewal from Khalsa College for Women.
Okay, ma'am. Can I?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to this 5-day faculty development program on Gen AI and Prompt Engineering, jointly organized by ExcelR and the Department of MCA, New Horizon College of Engineering, Bangalore. New Horizon College of Engineering is an autonomous institution affiliated to VTU, approved by ACTE and UGC, accredited by NAC with an A grade and NBA. Located in the heart of Bengaluru's IT corridor, we are surrounded by global tech leaders like Intel, Wipro, JP Morgan, and Cisco. So we are proud to inform that MCA Department of New Horizon College of Engineering has signed an MOU with ExcelR aimed at strengthening industry-academia collaboration in emerging technologies like AI and data science through training, certification, and research. Generative AI is transforming the way we teach and learn, enabling the machines to create text, images, and code. At the core of this lies prompt engineering, the skill of crafting inputs that guide AI tools to deliver effective results. We are grateful to our expert speakers from academia industry for being part of this FDP. Special thanks to ExcelR for their valuable partnership and to the Department of MCA for organizing this impactful program. To all the participants, make the most of this opportunity. Let this FDP spark new insights and inspiration. Wishing the program great success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm extremely sorry about the confusion, ma'am. I think there was a guest speaker from the Khalsa College who had spoken. I'm extremely sorry for that. Rock.
Yeah, Nita, I'm actually vulnerable, not able to hear you. Can you please check once?
Able to hear me?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. So did you get missed out from me introducing Dr. Bindu Garg, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Let me again welcome Dr. Bindu Garg, Professor and HOD of Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Pune, having 20 plus years of experience in machine learning, IoT, and AI research. She has authored 100 plus research papers, holds 9 patents, and has successfully led government projects worth 70 plus lakhs in the collaboration with DRDO, DSD, and AICTE. She is a reviewer for IEEE and Springer Journals, Board of Studies member, and a lifetime member of CSI. Over to you, ma'am, and a hearty welcome to you. Dr. Bindu Garg? Do we have Dr. Bindu Garg, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, she's there.
Okay.
Sushmita, actually, ma'am is not having the co-host access. Maybe she rejoined. Can you please make co-host once again?
Yes, sir, already.
Yeah, you can give access once again.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes. Actually, I was not able to speak, and that's why I was on mute sign. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Thank
right,
you very
ma'am.
much. Yes. Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University College of Engineering, I, Dr. Bindu Garg, feel honored to address this faculty development program. Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University College of Engineering, Pune, established in 1983, is a proud constituent unit of Bharati Vidyapeeth, deemed to be University. It is among the most reputed institutes, offering 11 undergraduate, 8 postgraduate, and doctoral program across 8 disciplines. The academic program have been accredited by National Board of Accreditation (NBA) across 4 cycles, ensuring high quality standards in education. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this faculty development program on generative AI and prompt engineering, proudly organized by Everyday Learning in collaboration with ExcelR Educate Private Limited, a renowned name in technology driven education and professional upskilling. This FDP is designed to equip faculty members and educators with practical insights and hands-on knowledge in prompt engineering, a cutting-edge skill set. Yes, just a minute. Yes, cutting-edge. Yes, this FDP cutting-edge skill set and hands-on knowledge in prompt engineering. This enables effective interaction with the advanced AI system like ChatGPT, BARD, and the other generative models. These tools are redefining how we approach education, research, and innovation. We are very privileged to have with us expert trainers and industry professionals from ExcelR EdTech who brings with them vast expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the latest prompt engineering practices. I sincerely thank and very fortunate to have the MOU with the ExcelR for everyday learning and the ExcelR Educate Private Limited for their collaborative efforts in promoting continuous professional development through this highly relevant and forward-looking FDP. Let us make the most of this opportunity to learn, engage, and innovate with generative AI. I wish you all a productive and insightful learning experience. Thank you once again. A very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Let me move on to our next dignitary for today, Dr. Rahul G. Roth, Assistant Professor, Dr. Vittal Rao Vicky Patil College of Engineering, Ahilya Nagar, having 15 plus years of experience in teaching, research, and administration, published over 10 plus papers in reputed international journals, specializing in machine learning, NLP, and deep learning. Active member of professional bodies like IEI, CSI, and IEEE, contributing to academic and technical communities. A hearty welcome to you, sir.
Actually, Rahul sir had not joined. He's busy with this different work.
Okay. All right. So let me move on to our next dignitary, Dr. Amit Singhal, Professor and HOD of CSE Department from Rajkumar Goel Institute of Technology, Uttar Pradesh, having 22 plus years of experience and 40 plus research publications, authored multiple books awarded for excellence in teaching and honored with prestigious academic awards. He's a senior member of IEEE, ASR, ISTE, and various global technical organizations contributing to research and innovation. A hearty welcome to you, sir.
Ma'am, even Namit sir is not yet joined. He will not join actually.
Okay.
We can move ahead with the trailer directly.
Okay. So let me introduce you all to our today's expert, subject matter expert and data scientist. He is a seasoned data scientist specializing in NLP and generative AI with a focus on building scalable AI products, proven track record of delivering AI solutions for clients across US, Dubai, Australia, and New York. Expertise spans finance, healthcare, legal AI, and cutting edge digital product development. Over to you, Mr. Saurabh.
Yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'll just introduce myself in a short. So, I'm Saurabh. I've been working into this domain for almost 6 years now, and currently I'm a co-founder and CTO of I have my own startup called as EthoVice, where we build this cutting-edge AI products. Delivering end-to-end AI solutions to different clients across Dubai, Australia, and New York. Most of our work has been into the domain of finance, healthcare, legal AI. Mostly now we are dealing with legal AI and the finance because of this whole booming field of generative AI, and people are really moving towards this particular part. So this has been proven to be a very great technology, which is giving the solutions in very quicker way. So because of which the whole across the client across the world have turn themselves into this particular domain just to get the solutions quickly and in much more effective way rather than building it anything from the very scratch. So that's the introduction about me, and that is what is our work till now.
Thank you, Saurabh. Saurabh, we will hand over the session to you once after the LMS KT is finished.
Sure.
So let me introduce you all to Amar from the Training Delivery Management team, who will be taking you through the LMS platform. Amar, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So, dear faculty members, once again, a very good afternoon and warm welcome to the 10 course of faculty development program on GenAI. So myself, Amar, I'm from TDM team ExcelR, and I will just give you the quick walkthrough on the LMS. So LMS is known as a learning management system, and it's ExcelR web application where we are going to provide you the end-to-end material regarding to the course. And as Tama mentioned that you will get a few extra courses which definitely you can go through and you can enroll on your own for the upskilling purpose. Even you can suggest that courses to your students as your faculty members. So that will help them to upskill themselves. So by using the LMS, Smita, can you please confirm once if my voice is clear and loud?
Yes, Samar.
Okay, super. Thank you. So by using the LMS, you are able to join the live session on a daily basis using the Zoom and YouTube platform. Additionally, you will be finding the recording of a daily sessions on a same day over the LMS. You can mark your attendance and you will find the material as well over the LMS. Okay, so now how you will be accessing the LMS? So everybody, I believe that everybody is done with the registration. If anybody missed, I'm requesting my team member to share the registration link once again in the chat box for the Zoom and YouTube. So why registration is important to get the LMS access. Okay, so anyways, free of cost LMS as well for everyone, and it's open platform for all the faculties from the pan India and students as well, right? So once you register within 24 hours of time span, you get the LMS access. So those who already registered, they already have access. Now, how to process to access the LMS, right? So we need to check our LMS inbox. If it's not there in the box, sometimes there are chances to drop that mail into spam folder. Okay, so you can check into spam folder as well. So first email we need to open, that is welcome to ExcelR and verify your account. By using this mail, we need to verify our account. So faculty members, if you have LMS access already, definitely you will get only course invitation mail. And as you are second time user or third time user of our courses, you already have access, so you can log in and use that. But for new user, they will receive 2 emails. By using this link or verification link, we need to set the password. Okay, so coming to this password, this will be a completely new password. You need to type it here, and same password we need to type it here again and click on set my password. Okay, this is the very first steps towards accessing the LMS. Once we are done with this, open the second email. Second email is a course invitation mail. Okay, so first one is a platform access, second one is a particular classroom access. Okay, so by using this mail, we can directly sign in towards to the LMS for this particular classroom. So in the mail body, you can check, we mention the steps what you need to follow. Okay, in first step itself, we mention the LMS URL onlinelearning.excelr.com. Okay, I'm clicking on that URL, so it will take me to the next page, and here I need to do a sign in. So as you're already registered member of ExcelR, not required to do a registration. And what is the use of store? Definitely, I will let you know that once we're going to sign in successfully. So we need to click on the sign, and actually URL you will find here. Every time not required to open the mail and click on the link, you can bookmark ExcelR LMS URL and easily you can access the LMS. Okay. So now, for now, as per steps, I'm clicking onto the sign in and I need to provide my credentials. Okay. So coming to the credentials, the registered mail ID and the password. Make sure that we are using the registered mail ID only and the password. Which password? Yes, the password which we have set into the first email, that password we need to use here. In the future, definitely if you're required to forward the password. For now, let's suppose I provided my mail ID and password and I'm clicking onto the login. So what next? So let me reshare my screen once again and I will show you how you So most of you are part of WhatsApp groups, right? So everybody is a part of WhatsApp group. If not, Pravalika, you can just share the link once again. If anybody is missed out to join the WhatsApp group, definitely already joined any one group, nothing to worry. You can be there. You will be getting the notification, but not required to have notification as well because you will be having how yes. So here we can check in today's session tab. You will be finding few of the classes which are allocated to me as a member of ExcelR. But for you, you will find this class FDP on Gen AI and prompt engineering Devon. So dear teachers, definitely if you want to join the session via Zoom every day, 2:50, you can click on the join button and it will take you to the Zoom. Scenario, if you are facing a problem with the Zoom, then definitely you can join the session via YouTube as well. So how to join via, see, the first way to join via Zoom, you will find here, but in network issue or capacity is going to fill about the 1000, then you will find one banner here about the today session tab, Gen AI and prompt engineering. If you click on it will take you through the YouTube. Okay, so whatever it's happening via join via Zoom, whatever is happening over the Zoom, same thing it will reflect here, and you can check here around 56 participants are watching the video here as well, right? So second, Zoom use the chat box, right? But if you want to ask anything on the YouTube as well, you can use the chat box of YouTube live chat option, right? So see here, so if we are sharing the link, if
Amar,
below
can you
the
please
panel,
check your network? I'm sorry for the interrupt. Amar, actually, your voice is not audible. It is not clear. Can you please check your network?
now it's fine.
No,
Now it's
Amar,
fine.
it is breaking. Somewhat okay now.
Yes,
Just
Amar, you are fine. I think Shushmita, there's a problem from your end. Amar is clear.
Is it okay now?
Please proceed, Amar.
okay, I believe it's fine, right? Getting task. So dear faculty members, sorry for the inconvenience. I'm just resharing my screen. Just allow me a few seconds. Then we'll start again from the how you'll be joining session using YouTube. Okay, so as I mentioned, tab from here you can join the session via Zoom, but if you're facing any difficulty, here you will find one banner. You can click on that and it will take you to. Okay, so whatever the queries and questions you are going to have, you can definitely ask into the live chat. Okay, so that you will find here. And one more thing, as I said that you will be getting notification on WhatsApp and you will channel and click on the bell icon, you will be getting the notification. Okay, so you will get the notification once session start automatically on your phone. You just need to click on that pop-up and you will land here on the YouTube channel and you can start watching and interacting with us from here. If you're not able to see this chat box, okay, so you can check here below watching. Here you will find live chat option. You can just click there, find this option, and from here you can start chatting. Okay, so Sanjay sir, unable to join the Zoom meeting. No problem, sir. The Zoom meeting is open for all. You can join. And if you're going to be there on YouTube as well, nothing to worry. You will get all these things over the YouTube as well. Our team is actively watching the YouTube stream and they will be helping in the chat box. Okay, so now, yes, I mentioned that you will be getting the recordings, attendance, and all these things where you will get, right? So you can find in your classroom, you will find that classroom, or else you can find on your dashboard as well, FDP on GenAI, right? So let me click on that classroom. So once I click on the classroom, so here I will find the two options. First one is a curriculum, second one is a meet. By using the meet option, you will be able to join the session using Zoom. If you check here, this program is going to happen for the 5 days. So you will find that, okay, 5 days calendar is already added. If you add that to your Google Calendar, definitely in the as well. Now going back into the curriculum, the first option is feedback response, submit your attendance here. So dear faculty members, coming to the attendance and feedback, so it's mandatory. Okay, so why it's mandatory? To get the certificate of participation from ExcelR, 60% attendance is mandatory. And anyway, we would just like to know that how things are going on. Definitely, we are open for the suggestions. And if you're really enjoying and gaining the knowledge, what you're looking for, and if you're meeting your expectations for what you definitely would like to hear from you in the feedback, right? You will find this to be only open. Link will open on day 1, 21st April, on 21st April. Open for that is 4:30. So 4:30 to 5:30, that link will be open. Now, few of you will say that I just registered, I'm not having the LMS access, or classroom is blank. What about that? So no need to worry, our team will be sharing the attendance link over the Zoom and YouTube sharp at 4:30. So this is completely open for the by mistakenly when students are there. They can attend the program, they can watch the session, they can upskill, but coming to the certification is only open for the faculty members, right? Okay.
Amar, your voice
So
is breaking,
this is
Amar.
about the feedback after. Acha, it's breaking up.
Huh.
Okay, network. And now it's fine. I changed my network. I believe that now it's fine.
Yes, Amar.
Okay, great. So I will just repeat that about the attendance and feedback once again. So dear faculty members, so once you open the classroom, you will find the first option as a feedback response. Okay, so you just need to click here and you need to submit your attendance and feedback. Coming to this point, so why feedback is important? To get the certificate of participation from ExcelR, 60% attendance is a mandatory. Okay, I'm repeating one more time. To get the certificate of participation from ExcelR, 60% attendance is mandatory. And around that, be like if you're really beginning the knowledge and we're just providing a quality content with the quality agenda, then definitely we'd like to hear from that you as well. So please give a feedback about the session as well. Every day whenever you are marking the attendance, make sure that for all the 5 days you are using the same mail id. Don't change the mail id. If you change the mail id, that will create your two accounts, and that will be problematic to meet the 60% of the attendance. Okay, so one more thing, this program is open for the faculty development program. Students can learn, gain the knowledge, but coming to the certificate, this is for faculties. Okay, so below that, as of now, the agenda is now not live, but after today's session, it will live. And here you will find the session recordings as well. Okay, so currently as the live is going on, you will find that recording will be happening here. If I play here, but coming to the certificate, current session will be running. But once after finishing the classroom, immediately if you want to go through the recording, you can come to the LMS and you can watch that. Whatever the material Saurabh is going to use for next 5 days, all this material will be uploaded here. So you can go through that material. If it's required to be in a downloadable mode, so you will get that in the LMS, you can use that. And as I mentioned, I will update you about the store. So there are some upskilling course. Few of them are paid, few of them are free. So definitely you can just go through that. You will find some interesting course here. You can ask your students also to go through this. Yeah, so that's all about LMS. I believe that all these things are clear. So if you have any query or question, you can ask. We'll be there for 2 more minutes. We'll keep the window open for the Q&A. And from long you're waiting for the session, we'll start with the session. Any query or any question? If not, I would like to hear that yes, it's clear. Okay, great, clear. Yeah, definitely. Lakshmi ma'am, just post your mail ID here. We'll check on that. Okay, clear, super. Others? It's clear. Great. Thank you, sir. Okay, anyway, me and our team will be there. So any query, any question, you can reach out to the host and co-host. We're happy to answer your questions and we'll get that resolved. So thank you so much for listening me, and happy learning with ExcelR. So Saurabh sir, over to you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so just need a confirmation if I'm audible properly to everyone.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, just allow me a second. Okay, so hope I'm audible, visible to everyone properly.
Yeah, you are visible.
Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, I think it was pretty broad discussion about the LMS portal, and it was great to know a lot of wonderful people and excellent people who have been working into the same domain for very long. The faculty from different colleges. Hello. Yeah,
Sir, I think there was some network issue from your side.
no, there
Please
is
check in a minute.
a second. Okay, fine. Now I think it should be fine, right?
Yeah, yes.
Wonderful. So yeah, I think it was pretty broad discussion about a lot of different things. Uh, it was so great to see so many wonderful people. I've been discussing about telling about the experiences, very STEM colleges and faculty from there. 30 years of experience have been coming into this program. So seems it is gonna be pretty fun for you all also, and expecting you will have a great time with me for 5 days. So before starting off with, let's say, now see, the topic is very let's say, when you talk about this topic, it's a very broad term. First of all, when you talk about generative AI, or if you talk about prompt engineering, so in very simple terms, when you say a prompt, it's just writing English, okay? But yeah, definitely writing a better English, of course. But before going into the part of generative AI, or before even moving, to even understand like what that part is, right? So let's get back and understand from the very first. Most of the college, I'm expecting many of the faculty over here are already into this domain. They already have pretty good idea about what this particular field is. But definitely exploring into this particular field for so long, and driving and very good solutions to the clients, uh, solving a real world problem, and let's say learning into the colleges, that has been always a gap that we have always seen. We hire on regular basis, so that thing we have always seen. There is definitely a student coming out directly from a college will definitely lack some kind of experience, or he might not have that much amount of exposure to what exactly the things are expected in the industries. Okay. So I think about me, I've already introduced. I run a software development company, which is where the main focus is about AI. We have been working into the same domain for 5 years. We have been, delivering a very end-to-end scalable system to our clients. And now also we are more moving towards the part of generative AI. Now, generative AI also is not now limited to, let's say, only generative AI or prompt, right? Now it is like very much broad. Now we talk about agentic part. Now we talk about MCP servers. A lot of different things are there. But my goal was to, let's say, for today, now we have almost an hour to discuss. So my idea was to start from where exactly this whole data science thing started. Okay, how it originated, and what was the such, what exactly the reason, what was the reason it got such a boom. You can just imagine now colleges have the different, like, the requirement was so high, colleges had to take out a new branches for this particular thing. Because I remember when I was in college, the branches used to be mechanical, CS, IT. I think everyone might have been to the same. But now the requirement rose up like so high, we actually needed the branches for this particular AI and data science. So basically now when I, let's suppose, talk about this whole field itself, right? Now again, let me just share my screen. Okay, I'm expecting screen is visible to everyone, and yes. Okay, so when you talk about this particular field, data science, right, and extremely broad term. Okay, I mean, it is not, first of all, the idea, or let's say the main focus, or let's say no, the main idea was, the reason it got so famous was it was not limited to one single field. Means it was into healthcare. Okay, it was into finance. Means we were able to make a better decisions. It was into marketing. Okay, it was into I would say, let's suppose, for healthcare, legal AI, legal AI. Means there was no such field where data science was not used. Every single field, every single industry started using data science in such an effective way. It was very easy for people to get the very easiest of the solutions in, like, let's say, saving millions of dollars to the companies. Now I'll get in very details about this word, like, millions of dollars, how it is saving and all. So now let's get back to a little bit journey about it. Now, if I just get back to the eras of, let's say, 1990s, when it actually started a little bit, this has been into the field for 1950s, right? I mean, this is not new. Now, exploring this particular field in so depth, definitely we have to study about all these particular details, how exactly it originated, how it started. So the biggest problem at that particular time was about data. When we talk about data and science, so the main thing comes is data. Now imagine a very simple example. It is just like an intelligent model. Intelligent model means here you explicitly don't need to define the rules. You don't define the rules here. Usually, let's suppose, whenever we used to write the, let's say, any kind of codes, right? So I would talk about, let's say, 15 years back. So there used to be a, let's say, dynamic, static programming. So when I say static programming, means the codes used to be fixed. to be fixed. Now, when I say fixed, means what? Okay, step one, after this is done, step two, after this is done, step three, after this is done, step four. Means it was a very clean thing. No logic, I mean, no intelligence, nothing. It was just a pure coding, just pure rule based system that was working. Now, imagine, let's say, a kid, right? I think as a kid, right? So we never teach him, okay, we never teach him to, okay, teach him, okay, say hi or say hello or say mom, hey, say dad. We don't teach him anything, right? It's just like whatever surroundings that particular kid has, automatically it will try to gather that particular thing, understanding. So this understanding that you say, no, that is called as a data. Imagine. So understanding a data science with respect to a real world, taking the scenarios of the real world, I think it's more easy to understand because it is completely connected to real world only. So simple thought was, why not to create a model which can exactly think like a human brain, right? Let's suppose if the smartest animal that is present on the earth is human, so why not to create something which can exactly act like a human? So as a human being, we don't need to have the set of rules to be told to us to perform any certain kind of action. Our mind is pretty smart that automatically it can take some kind of decisions. So this was the main idea behind this particular thing called as data science. What was the idea? You just provide a certain amount of data to it and let it understand that data. Means let him understand the patterns. Just let's say as of now, we can just say, okay, let's say this particular model is there, a kid. So the way you will train that particular kid, okay, every day, he has a lot of, let's say his parents are there, they're into singing. Every day, they're doing the same kind of stuff. Every day they are listening to different songs. Eventually he will gather the interest into that particular thing, and it's pretty much sure that, or it's pretty much possibility that he can have a chance to becoming something similar to around that in future also. Means what? The kind of data it is surrounded by, whatever kind of data it is surrounding by, it will try to act exactly similar. But now when I say similar, like now all of these particular surroundings, you can say this just like his parents or his teachers or whoever it may be. So they are not telling him, or they are not giving him the set of rules. Okay, now you have to perform, say this, now say this, now say this, now say this. No, this particular person that is there, or this kid is there, he's smart enough to understand, okay, whatever I need to do is, okay, whatever data I have got, from that data I'm smart enough to create my own thinking process, and I can think in that particular way. So this is where the main core idea of data science started. So that was the main idea what data science was. Now the biggest problem for data science was not booming up to, I would say, 2013, I would say. Since after that it was pretty good work that people started doing, especially big tech companies like Google. They have really put up a lot of efforts into that. Now till that particular time, the biggest problem was data. Now when I say biggest problem was data, so what do you mean by that? Imagine, like, let's suppose no smartphones, right? I think as far as I can see, I'm still into my 30s, but as far as all the teachers are concerned here, might be pretty old areas, like let's say 50s or something. So I think in your areas, so in your era, definitely smartphones was no such thing. Recently, it's been like 15 years we had smartphones, right? So what happened was, as soon as the smartphones started increasing, the data started increasing. Now imagine, let's say even 15 years back, barely we used to have one phone in a house, barely. Now, if you check the thing, let's say if there are 10 people in the house, there would be minimum 10 devices that we will have. Along with that, if there are kids or something, they'll have their laptops, or or their tablets, or means, in simple terms, what? That is like the amount of data started increasing. Started increasing. Now that was just one thing. Okay, let's say data was one. Now, second thing, let's suppose, sorry. Yeah. Now that was one. Now second thing was, literally everything that we see around, right, got online, right? Education, professional meetings, then social media was the biggest impact. Okay, so almost every single type of thing that you see is now online. And what happened? Almost 80% of that particular data is a textual data. Textual data. Now when I say textual data, I'll get to this textual data thing. Okay, so this is what the whole, whatever you see as a chat GPT, This chat GPT itself is a textual data. I'll come back to till that. So maximum amount of data started generating. So because of that, there was need of the people to handle this particular data smartly. Now imagine, let's say, now see, okay, before that, so whatever 100% of the data was produced, 80% of the data was completely unstructured. Means there was no structure to that. Imagine, let's say, social media. Let's say usually, we deal with a lot of unstructured data, especially now if I talk about the tweets, right? Social media tweets. Like I don't need to tell you how hilarious the tweets are, right? I mean, it can be written in like say multiple ways. So handling this textual data is probably the most critical thing that usually we can do, because now I can tell this very firmly because we have been responsible for building the models from very scratch, and now we are also responsible to build the models using, let's say, tools like GPT. There is a difference. There is a huge difference. Now you don't need to go in very details about every single thing. Okay. Now, whatever other 20% data was there, let's say you can say it's like a structured data you have. Now, when I say structured data, you can just imagine, let's say rows, columns, proper tables are there. Usually, we try to store this data into proper SQL format, right? Postgres. Okay. If you have unstructured data, usually we have the databases like, you can, now depends like what kind of storage you're doing. If it's image data, or let's say videos are there, you can store into, let's say, AWS buckets. Okay. If complete no SQL unstructured is there, you can always go for MongoDB. Now that's like a simple thing. I mean, you can definitely, we can talk about more and more databases. That's not a topic for today. So maximum amount of data started producing, and one more evaluation that happened was the, we can say, no, let's say now in simple terms, what we can say is, the tools to handle this data came into play, just like cloud. Now imagine, let's say, even I also remember, let's say 15, 20 years back, the companies used to have their big data warehouses, right? Where the big CPUs, the hard disks and everything used to be stored, all the data used to be stored over there. So there was a lot of costing side. But now you have the cloud, like you can literally get such a easy amount of solution to the cloud. Means you're just paying such a small amount of fees to them. And in return to that, you can store any amount of data to that particular cloud. There is no limit to it. So because of that, what happened was both the things came in together. Even data started increasing immediately, and even the all this cloud infrastructure that came into play, that also suddenly boomed to the next level. And because of that, this field called as data science started emerging. So now, in simple terms, what I told you, data science means what? It is just a way to, in very simple terms, it is just a way to get some kind of insights from whatever data we have. Now in very, again, one more example. I still remember, people from different companies, they used to, roam around the areas. Let's say he will keep one area, so they will, go there, they'll try to sell their products there.
Saurav sir, sorry for the interrupt. Your screen is not visible. Can you please confirm whether you're sharing the screen or you're sharing any presentations?
Oh, I think, am I audible to everyone?
Yeah, you're audible, sir, but we are not able to see any presentations or something. Like your
Okay.
screen is not visible actually.
Now it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, is browser visible to everyone, this?
Yeah, yes.
Now it's fine. Oh, I'm getting
Yeah,
some
now
warning
it's,
of
yeah,
something.
now it is fine.
Okay, so just confirm me once. Okay, it's fine, and I should move on then. Okay, good, great, everyone. Okay, just let me know you can see welcome here.
Yes, sir. It is, that is the page is visible now.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm sorry, we were to the, let's say, point where, we were discussing this part, right? Now what happened was every single thing came in together, and things started booming immediately. So because of that, requirement started increasing. There was a requirement to handle this data. So trillions of data points. I would say now this was a data recorded in 2021. Now I know trillions of data points. You can just imagine trillions of the data points were generated on a regular basis. And because of that, what happened, the use or the requirement to handle this particular data, people required the skilled people. So skill set was required, and this is where, then people started, learning all machine learning, deep learning and NLP and all things started coming into play. Now, one more thing, that usually you might have seen. Let's say the now when I say, okay, the companies have literally saved millions of dollars just by something called as direct marketing. I'll tell you the very core idea behind this, right? I'll come to you. Now, everyone might have seen, right? Let's say, I think everyone might have gone through this particular part. So, whatever kind of stuff that you do, right? So, you always get the notifications surrounding that particular thing only, right? I think everyone might have observed this. Let's suppose you're trying to watch some kind of videos, you'll always get the similar kind of videos recommendations. Let's suppose you are trying to, let's say, buy shoes, or let's say any XYZ thing. Okay, you will see that after that you are going to any social media, you go to YouTube, you go to any social media, you go to Facebook, anywhere you go, you will see that similar kind of ads will be displayed over there, exactly similar. Okay, so now this is where the core machine learning came into play. Now I'm talking about machine learning, right? So what exactly happened was, now as I was telling, let's say a few years back from now, companies used to have these people, who used to come to different localities, right? They used to have their products. Okay, and what they used to do, they used to sell their products into the different areas. But the biggest problem that this particular type of marketing was, the output was literally, means the output means what, conversion rate was literally less than 1%. Now imagine, let's suppose you are going to an area, okay, where you are just trying to sell, let's say, some kind of product which is worth, let's say, 20,000. Sorry, 20,000. Now imagine how many people would be actually interested in that particular product. Let's say 1,000 people are there. Okay, first of all, many people don't even used to allow them to their houses, right? Used to say, okay, there are scams and all. Okay, so then let's suppose out of 1,000, let's say 100 people were interested into that product. After that, hearing the price, let's say, it might have been happening. Auto saving postponed. Okay, my screen is visible to everyone.
And now it is visible.
Okay, fine. So from that hundreds also, imagine, now this is like a too much of number I've said, hundreds. But imagine, let's say, maximum 2 to 3 people would be interested into that particular product. Means, again, who will buy them, who will not buy them, that's like completely secondary thing. But one simple thought was what? When you want to sell a particular product, the targeted customer was literally a customer, a blind customer, I would say. You are blindly targeting, let's say, 10,000 people. Let's say blindly targeting an area, you don't even know whether they're interested or not. So this is where the core machine learning came into play. So what machine learning said, okay, now when a particular user is interested to buy a shoes, then why are you showing him the t-shirts? Right, directly showing the shoes only. So this is where the main, and I would say, no, the booming of the data science started. I mean, one of the points, or this is also one of the points where data science really came into play. Now it was very easy for even the people. So user experience got very easy, right? It was very user experience, right? Imagine, let's suppose you want to buy a certain thing, and wherever you will go into the social media, you will see ads similar to that. So it's very easy for you. You are getting more options, right? And now companies don't need to target the whole big set of people to sell their one product. Now what they're doing, okay, this set of people is interested in the shoes, so let's try to show them only shoes. Let's not focus on, let's say, any other thing. So this is called as a core recommendation systems came into play. Now that was a very core machine learning. So in the machine learning, what we had again, so core machine learning mostly stands into different algorithms, right? Imagine, let's say, most of you might have heard about simple algorithms like tree based algorithms, simple classical algorithms like we talk about very statistical ones, linear regression, logistic regression, right? So such kind of algorithms started into play. Now after that, what happened was, the size of the data started increasing. The size of the data became so huge that, like, people started training the models on millions and millions of parameters. So whatever GPT that you see, that is generated, or let's say trained on billions of parameters. Billions of parameters. Now, when I say billions of parameters, means what? The data size was such a huge that you required that much amount of GPUs, you required that high amount of every single thing every single factor was considered, to build such kind of high level model. So as we started, getting the, size of the data started increasing, the performance of the machine learning algorithms, let's say, as the data started increasing, performance of the machine learning algorithms started decreasing. Means it became constant. Okay, after certain amount of data, let's say if I now say this, let's say data, say, or let's say data, or let's say algorithm, something, and the deep learning algorithm started showing the better impacts. So even the data, as the data was increasing, even the algorithms were giving the better performance. Then the core deep learning came into play. Now when I say about, let's say, core deep learning, now let's say in this the topics like a very cool things, right? Let's say biggest examples, let's say image recognitions. I'm going on a very simple note, right? I'm not going into very detailed about what these things can do. There is something called as a very hybrid deep learning, right? So I think everyone might have heard about Tesla cars, right? So they use something called as reinforcement deep learning into this, where they use hybrid models of deep learning to understand different aspects. Now imagine there is no driver and he's driving a car. So he should definitely know, okay, signal is red, you have to stop. Signal is green, now you have to move on, right? So there are multiple factors that that particular model should understand. Means what? That is purely someone who is not sitting there and he's trying to drive a car. So this is where, let's say, core deep learning started coming into play. Now in the deep learning, like, we had, so deep learning itself was the main idea where this complete chat GPT era started. So whatever GPT that you see in today's world, so this complete deep learning itself was the main core idea behind it. Now you talk about, let's say, facial recognition. That's the one thing I told you about. You, let's say, talk about any kind of number plate detections. You're going somewhere, suddenly, you are getting a charge. Okay, you are overspeeding and you have 1,000 rupees fine. So how you are getting that? So deep learning, models are placed over there, which are, making sure, okay, your, let's say, number plates are cached properly, and immediately they are just redirecting that to the database, and from the database picking up your name, and it will be directly shown, on your mobile phone. Okay, you have been charged for this particular thing. So these models were so let's say, I would say, so intelligent, like they were able to perform exactly like human beings, but up to certain limit it was fine. The biggest problem was the textual data. The biggest problem was textual data. So to handle this particular whole textual data, we introduced, or there was a field called as NLP, that is called as natural language processing. Natural language processing. Now when I talk about NLP, right, so even in today's world, whatever things that you see chat GPTs, you see agentic models, you see generative AI models, whatever things that you see, the base and the core idea was originated from here. The core idea was originated from here. Okay, so usually, whenever whenever we get a chance to interact with the colleges, we are always keen to, let's say, tell, okay, it's always good to go from the statistical things. The statistical things will never change. Now imagine, now on a very frank note, serious note, gen AI and prompt engineering, we used to use this very effectively, or, let's say a year back or something, or let's say 2 years back. Now after that we had evaluation to Langchain, some other field came. Now we had agentic part, we had RAG based architectures. Means what? This field is continuously evolving. Well, it's not like only now we are not using it. Of course, we are using it on a very large scale. A lot of applications are there. We have a lot of time to discuss about it. But just thought of, telling like what are the things that currently we are doing. Just allow me a second. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So now let's suppose, I hope I'm audible to everyone properly, right? So now this field of this complete natural language processing, right, NLP. So this was the most booming field in this particular domain. Now let's suppose you talk about the applications, like there are thousands of applications which actually build around this particular part. You talk about core NLP, let's say you talk about Siri, you talk about Alexa. Like imagine, right? Let's suppose you're talking something to Siri, or let's say you're saying Alexa, hey Alexa, play this song. So how exactly it is able to understand that? It is very easily, understand, okay, yeah, this is what is being said, and now even that Alexa is responding in exactly in like a human way, right? Now definitely Alexa is not a very proper example to tell about, let's say, whether the response is like humans or not, but definitely the response were much more better than what we expected, right? Let's say you're asking, okay, hey, stop that song now, don't play this, play some other song, play song like this, do that. So it had that ability to understand what exactly human is trying to say. So this was like one of the core applications of when you talk about NLP. Means what we are doing, we are processing this particular textual data. Now here comes the catch, here comes the main part. See, processing the NLP data, or let's say textual data was the most difficult thing. Imagine, let's suppose now we have processed image. Okay, we have processed the, let's say, no tabular data. So when you talk about, let's say, we have processed videos, audios, everything type of data we have processed. Now I'll tell you one thing. Okay, now imagine, let's suppose whenever you talk about any kind of textual data, first of all, you talk about any kind of application, any kind of algorithm, any kind of, let's say, machine, right? So machines only understand binary language, right? Means either the data should go in form of zeros or ones. The data has to be in form of this one. So whatever kind of model you are building, or whatever kind of, let's say, models that you see, behind the scenes the embeddings are created. So when I say embeddings, means what? Whatever text that you are seeing, okay, let's suppose now you are asking ChatGPT, hey ChatGPT, do this for me. So it is that particular model is directly not processing your text. That text is first of all converted into this vector form. Vector form means what? Number form. Okay, then you are getting back the answer in number form only, but that is happening in the back end. And in the front end, now you are seeing that as a, let's say, the textual part as a reply to it. Okay, means what? If you want to process any kind of data, if you want to build any kind of model, if you have any kind of data, doesn't matter, the most basic requirement was to convert that data into numeric form. That was the most basic thing. So this is where the NLP actually gave us a lot of different problems. Because imagine, let's suppose you are trying to process an image, right? So images are usually processed in, let's say, pixel formats, right? You have, let's say, pixels like this. Okay, every single image is converted into the pixel, and every single pixel have the values between, let's say, 0 to 255. Okay, so it's very easy to convert image to a pixel, right? I mean, image to any kind of number form. Okay, if I now just show you an example, let's suppose, uh, say image to pixels. Yeah, I think vector should be fine. Okay, imagine this now. See here, I have any good image here. Hmm. Okay, wait, actually saved it but just gone. Okay, image to, now imagine, let's suppose this is there. Okay, let's say this image you have. Now see here, if you see this image, you will see that all this particular image is now properly converted into the grids, and every single grid will have one particular value. Okay, so that value can be anything now. There is no limit to it. Now look at this one. Let's suppose this A is written. We'll see that now this A is properly converted into the grid sizes like this. And every single grid will have the value between 0 to 255. Okay, this is a normalized value. So therefore, we'll see everything into 0 to 1. But usually the pixel values are between 0 to 255. So means what? It was very easy to, let's suppose now this face is there. So you have this face. And eventually now we converted this face into this pixel form. And now you can see this whole image is now written in this particular format of, let's say, numbers. Okay, format of the numbers. So that was like, let's say, very easy to do it. Similarly, now let's suppose I'll do one more thing. Let's say we had audio to, uh, there are not exactly pixels, but audio to, let's say, frequencies that are there. So you'll see that, you might have seen we have frequencies like this, right? For every single image you talk about it, or you have the videos, right? So for every single thing you have this particular transcript, let's say, what do you call them? So these are, pixels that you have. Okay, so now understand, even every single of this particular thing have some kind of value. So they will have some kind of value. Let's say, this particular frequency has xyz value. Okay, every single thing has a value. But now imagine, let's suppose, so it was very easy to process such kind of data, easy to convert and easy to process. But when it comes to textual data, now imagine, let's suppose I'm writing something like this: hi, welcome, wait, hi, welcome to the program. Example. Everyone, pardon me for the handwriting, right? If you don't understand, let me know. I'll try to make it better. But yeah, okay. So welcome to the program. Now, guys, imagine how exactly and how am I supposed to write this into the textual form, or let's say number form. So what should I write this to one, or this to a two, this to a three, this to a four, and what should I do? So this is where the NLP, when we say no, processing the NLP data was one of the most difficult things that we have to think about. Okay, so what happened was, now to do this particular task, we had different techniques came into play. Like, we had bag of words, TF, IDF. So now in today's world, you have, let's say, OpenAI embeddings are there. Embeddings. You have Hugging Face embeddings. Okay, now it's a bit straightforward, but let's say it was very difficult to get such kind of things. And the good evaluation happened when in 2013 Google came with something called as word to vec. So this algorithm was much more advancement to these. What are the different so these two examples I have taken. Let's say one hot encoding, you talk about engrams. Okay, so there are multiple techniques. So this particular thing was much more effective than all the other different techniques that we had, because this was the main see in the whole NLP pipeline, or let's say when you talk about GPT, right? The whole pipeline, the most important thing is to convert any kind of textual data into a numeric form, because we have to make sure that whatever textual data I'm converting into the numeric form, the actual meaning should be preserved. Meaning should not be lost. Be lost. Very normal, right? Imagine, let's suppose I'm saying, okay, hello, how are you? So I'm writing something like this. If I'm writing hello to one, so then what I'm doing, I'm trying to preserve the meaning of this particular hello inside this particular number called as one. Okay, so I had to make sure whatever numeric form I'm converting to any kind of text, that should be stored, and the meaning of that particular image has to be stored very properly. So this is where all these embedding, or let's say, techniques started coming into play. So all these particular techniques were not that effective because there are multiple problems. Let's not get into that details about that. We had the problems like sparsity. I think many of the faculties might already know about it, but let's say sparsity was the problem. Then the contextual understanding. Contextual understanding was a problem. So now see, the classical NLP was fine up to certain limit. Means what? Let's suppose it was able to solve the problems to certain limit. Let's say sentiment analysis, right? Now imagine. Let's suppose you are, let's say, whole e-commerce tech company, okay? And let's suppose you want to launch a certain product on your platform. So you already have a similar kind of products which are on the platform. So what you want to do? You just wanted to do analysis on that particular program. So let's suppose, now imagine, let's say there are 1 lakh people who have written the reviews about that particular, let's say, we can say, that particular product. Similarly, you can talk about movies also. Let's say 1 lakh movies reviews are written about the movies. So what exactly happened now? If I now, let's suppose, if I intervene any kind of human, okay, in the company, and I told him, okay, hey, come here. Now take these reviews one by one, go to each and every single review, read about it, and tell me whether it's positive or not. And overall, now you need to tell me, after reading 1 lakh reviews, tell me overall what exactly people are thinking about this particular product. Should we launch another product similar to like that? Because see, these reviews are going to be the most important point, right? The way people are responding to this particular thing, this one another previous product, according to that only people will respond to this particular new product. So therefore, understanding what human, let's say, what users are thinking, it's very important. So now imagine, is it possible to do this particular task like a humans? Definitely not. So the NLP actually started doing this task within, let's say, fraction of seconds. In fraction of seconds, this was done. You just pass the data and you are just getting out of that, the results out of it. Okay, whether it's positive or negative. Now, how to decide that whether it's positive, negative? Now that's like a very broad thing. There are heuristic approaches to that. There are different algorithms to that. Let's not jump into that. But the important thing was to understand this evaluation. Like from there, now how exactly we came to this particular area? Okay, so now still we are into part where I told you about word to vec. So this algorithm was very effective while converting any kind of textual data into a numeric form. So till up to this point, it was very perfect. Now what happened? Let's suppose task like I told, sentiment analysis, or topic modeling. Okay, so we have actually worked very extensively in topic modeling actually, for one of the clients, we have built a whole end-to-end topic modeling system where the thing was very simple. Let's say they have a bunch of text like this in together. So from the text, they wanted to segregate what are the different topics which are present in that data. Okay, let's say there are topics about political news. Okay, there are topics about sports. Okay, there are topics about entertainment, right? Because see, as a human, these tasks are very critical, right? So this is where in such kind of tasks, the machines, or we can say AI, replaced human beings. Okay, now when a certain task is done by AI within seconds, okay, and it's a very simple task, very easy task, why not to do it using that only? Then after that, we started creating and talking with the PDFs, talking with financial data. Now, when I say talking with financial data, so NLP was very helpful into this particular cases. Now, why? Imagine, let's say now we actually handle one of the backend AI of one of the companies where what they do is they are basically a financial company. Uh, Financial, as in you can just say they handle portfolio of the companies, portfolio of, you can just say mid-size or enterprise level companies. Okay, so they handle their portfolios, they see okay where they should invest, just like an, you can say, an investor, not like an individual level but on a, let's say, company level. So that's what the company do. So what they used to have, they used to have this huge amount of documents like this, the huge amount of document, like thousands of documents will come at one time. The PDFs will be there, Excel sheets will be there, PDFs will be there, PPTs will be there, any kind of form will be there. Okay, that's called as completely unstructured data. And from that, what they used to expect, okay, let's suppose now I have a PDF. Okay, and from that particular PDF there is something written like this. Okay, let's say revenue for the year 2022 FY2 was, let's say, $1 million, example. Okay, now let's suppose this thing was, let's suppose, written on, let's say, 10th page. Now guys, imagine, like, if I just let any human sit over here and tell him, okay, now, okay, read about this, read the whole PDF and tell me what are the important things which are written in this document. Is it possible? Definitely not. So this is where the field of NLP started booming. In such kind of scenarios, okay, it was very smart to understand, okay, what are the important keywords, which kind of keywords should be selected. Okay, I told him, okay, I need something around revenue, that should be selected. So then it was exactly able to read, okay, yeah, the revenue for this particular was this much. And then how exactly we are mapping revenue FY 2022, let's say fiscal year second, and $1 million. So we were able to match, we used to match like this, four different entities like this together. So entity one, entity two, entity 3, and entity 4. Means this is how exactly we match these entities. Okay, now this will be shown to that particular user. Okay, so now imagine, even that is very easy for the user, right? He don't need to read the whole PDF. Immediately you are getting whole data that is there, important things that are present in that PDF, right? So that was just like a small thing that I'm telling you. So like this, there are like n number of applications you will see on a regular basis that are being handling and happening in this particular domain. A very core example, right? Now let's talk about one more thing. Okay, let's say machine translation. Now this was like, at least for us, let's say this was like definitely a breakthrough. Okay, I mean, Google. Okay, I think this was like, for me at least, personally, like, because the kind of things we have seen, so this was like definitely a very huge breakthrough. Now imagine, let's suppose you are writing anything, let's say hello, how are you, hello, how are you, right? And here, let's suppose you can literally convert that anything into the any, like, thousands of different languages, literally thousands of languages. Now let's suppose if I do Hindi, I think pretty many of you might be aware of the Hindi, so I'll just tell, okay, Hindi. See, namaste, aap kaise hai? Means this the kind of reasons, or we can say, now see, here the not exactly core NLP is used here, something called as transformers are used. I'm just coming up there, right? So but imagine, this is all the NLP task. So therefore, let's say whenever I get a chance to interact with many different students, colleges, so the one thing that I always take is, focus on this field of NLP, because this field is never dying field. The textual data is never getting ended. Every day thousands, and I told you, trillions of data points are coming. So now that is one. So like this, there are thousands of such applications, where NLP outperformed a lot of different things. But the biggest problem was, NLP was not able to handle big amount of data. Okay, before like moving here, just let me just get back to this Zoom call. So guys, everyone is with me, understanding, all great. Just text a simple thumbs up. Interesting, maybe pretty interesting, everyone. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, if I sure, 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 sure. Okay, now let's get back. Now see here, guys. Now, when we talked about this huge amount of data, right? Now imagine, let's suppose a very simple example I'll give you. Let's say you go to watch a movie. Okay? Watch a movie. You came home, okay? And let's suppose your brother asked, hey, how was the movie? So let's suppose, okay, tell me what exactly happened. So you exactly remember the every single context. Understand the word context, okay? I'm not saying the words. Is it possible even for a human to tell from the first word of the movie, 3 hours of movies there? So from the first word what exactly someone said till the last word what exactly someone said, is it possible to tell each and every single thing? No. But we can definitely summarize, or we can say context. We can definitely take the context of that particular movie. Okay, yeah, this is what exactly it started. This is how exactly it was, and according to me, this is how exactly the movie was. But how exactly you were able to tell that? From the first minute that you started watching till the last minute that you have gone, your brain was able to store the complete data in your let's say system. In here every single thing was stored from the scene number 1 till the scene number, let's say, last. Every single thing was stored over here. So this is where we call it as long term dependencies. Means what? A classical NLP, not exactly the classical as we move forward. So I think everyone might know about Gajni, right? Means what? Okay, remember for 5 minutes and then I don't know what's happening. So that is what exactly was the problem. Means up to certain limit, okay, it was understanding. Let's say the task like let's say next word prediction, or let's say summarization. Yes, they were happening very perfectly, but somehow the results were not as expected as the results were not as good as they were expected. Okay, so just to make sure, see, now what happened was, up to this particular point, I'm talking about NLP with machine learning. Okay, how NLP was performed. Now NLP started evolving with deep learning, and in the deep learning, let's say basically, guys, in deep learning we have three things. We talk about ANNs, we talk about CNNs. Let's say whenever we talk about image data, audio data, video, anything related to the image, right, is solved into the CNN. Anything related to the tabular data, okay, is solved into ANN. And apart from that, any kind of textual data, or we can say sequential data. Now see, because when you talk about, let's say, textual data, right, sequence actually matters. Let's suppose if I write hi, hello, how are you? Okay, so this has to be written in the same sequence, right? You cannot write, okay, how, hello, are you? Even if the number of words are same, till the time the sequence of these particular words are not same, you will not get the proper meaning of it. So to handle this particular meaning, we introduced something called as RNNs. It's called as recurrent neural networks. Recurrent neural networks. And guys, this was the first model of ChatGPT. So whatever ChatGPT that you see, this recurrent neural networks was the first model of that. Okay, idea was what? Idea was originated from NLP. Okay, all the steps that are there now, whatever steps I told you, I told about, later you need to clean the data, right? You have a very bad data that you get into the, let's say, whenever you try to talk about the data, right, the data is very, very unstructured. A data is very, very noisy. You need to clean that data, then you need to convert that data in the vector form, as I told you, and then you need to apply some kind of algorithm on it in very simple terms. So process is exactly same. Process have not changed, just the way to do it has changed. So what exactly RNN did what? RNN handled this sequential data in much more better way. Means NLP was performing much more better with, it's a deep learning rather than machine learning, because the data was very huge, right? And second thing was, we actually had the requirement. Means what? The requirement of the data started coming more and more. So because of that, we wanted something that can handle the data in very, very better way. So because of this neural network structure, right, so the data handling was very, very proper. So therefore NLP started evolving very at a very extensive speed with the deep learning. So as soon as RNNs were introduced, now see, uske baad we had like a lot of different, we had faster RNNs, then we eventually moved into the parts of something called as LSTMs and GRFs. So whatever problem I was telling, right, let's say RNNs were not able to handle the big amount of data, or let's say long-term dependencies. Means memory was not very long. Let's suppose, okay, we had, let's say, 10 different sentences like this. Okay, so it was okay starting from here, it was remembering till here, remembering till here, remembering till here. But as we are moving about, up to certain limit, after a certain point, it was forgetting everything that is written from the behind. As we are moving forward, okay, it is forgetting what is written behind. So now let's imagine, suppose if I ask a certain model to, let's say, summarize a task for me. Okay, let's say summarize XYZ thing for me. Okay, so but as we are moving ahead, as we are going, away from this particular point, it is everything is forgetting here. It's everything is forgetting, everything is forgetting. And what's the point of that? Means till the time you will reach this end point, it will only remember this particular context. That's it. And whatever summary I will get the summary based on this particular part only. Okay, so that was like, one of the biggest problems that this particular thing had. So therefore we introduced something called as LSTMs and GRFs. Again, you can just say, now from here till the chat GPT, we had different architectures, just simple improvements, simple improvements, simple improvements. Okay, so similarly LSTMs and GRFs were also same, they were doing the same thing. One more very bigger problem into this particular thing was, it was not able to understand the context of the word. Now when I say context, now imagine, let's suppose we have to compare two different sentences. Let's say I say, he went to the river of the bank, sorry, the bank. Okay, and someone said he went to transfer the money into bank. Now guys, the problem happened was, the classical RNN models were not able to distinguish between the difference between this bank and this bank. So means when the two sentences were compared, the sentences were taken something like this. Okay, this bank is exactly same and this bank is also exactly same. Means the angle between them, or we can say the similarity between them, was considered to be very similar. They, okay, what exactly said, okay, yeah, both of them are bank, but now they're exactly similar. That's it. So as a human being, it is very easy to understand, okay, this particular bank is talking in the context of river, and this bank is talking in terms of financial thing. Okay, this is where, this kind of models like LSTMs, okay, GRUs. Now see the simple example, but at certain level, these, kind of models fail. And guys, after that we had this, sorry, we actually had the complete breakthroughs in this very particular model with the introduction to something called as encoder decoders. So I'll not go in details about this, but just imagine after this, in simply example is what? Transformer based architectures. Transformer based architectures. Now this transformer based architectures, what's the meaning of them? In 2017, a Google engineers from the Google came up with a paper called as Attention is All You Need. All you need. And guys, this was the biggest breakthrough that we got into this particular field. After introduction to this particular field, this field completely boomed. Means being working into this particular field so closely, right? And actually I'm telling you, building such a statistical model 5 years back, never in our wildest dreams we thought in a 5 years of span we'll come to this particular place. Yeah, we thought of this evaluation maybe in next 20 years. Okay, now understand one more thing. When this paper was published, no, so this paper was purely published to handle the textual data. Means what was the main idea? Okay, we have the problem in handling the textual data, right? We were not able to get the very proper results in the textual data. So what we'll do, we'll create such kind of transformer architecture, so which will have the ability to handle this textual data properly. That's it. That was the only, thinking that they had at that particular time. They never knew now this particular transformer architectures will be used in the text also, videos also, image generation also, right? Audio generation also, video generation, means every single thing. I would say there is no such domain in today's world that where this transformer architecture is not used. And guys, whatever chat GPT that you see, okay, once the transformer architecture came into play, GPT-1 was released. It, whatever you see, GPT-1 came, GPT 2.0 came, GPT 3 came, GPT 3.5 came, and after 3.5 people started noticing, okay, there is something called as chat GPT. Okay, so in this particular case, now in the chat GPT also, right, it is purely a transformer based architectures. It is simply a transformer architecture, that's it. It is nothing else. Okay, it is nothing but the transformer architecture only. Let me just add one, sorry. Yes. Okay, so I hope it's making sense. So it is what, it's simply a transformer architecture only. So again, means guys, in simple terms, what this transformer architecture had something called as okay, okay, so this transformer architecture had something called as encoder decoder architectures inbuilt. Architecture inbuilt means the biggest plus point was, see, when I talked about simple RNNs, right, what was there? It was a sequential model. Means what? Okay, first of all, let's suppose I'm writing a sentence, hello, how are you? So how exactly it was processing simple RNNs, or let's say simple LSTM GRUs, a basic model of NLP. What it will do? Okay, it will first process hello, it will process, then next will come how, it will process, it will come next R, next you. Now guys, imagine it was a sequential data, it was sequential process. So the problem actually happened, one more problem that happened was, it was a very very high time consuming process. Very high time consuming process. Now imagine, let's suppose you have 1000 words. That is definitely not a case, right? When you talk about textual data, let's talk about one simple PDF itself, it will have, let's say, minimum 10,000 words, right? Now imagine, let's suppose you are passing one data, doing a processing, passing second data, doing processing, passing third data, processing. Means it was a very very highly time consuming process. So what exactly was the best thing that happened into this transformer architectures? It was a parallel process. Okay, means whole data was going at time, and it was a parallel, it was processing both the things. Okay, and very perfectly it was able to, we can understand the contextual meaning of this. Means whatever I told you, right, let's say bank example. So it had that bi-directional approach. Bi-directional approach means what? From front side also it was understanding the meaning of the sentence, and from back side also it was understanding the meaning of the sentence. So because of that, what happened, it actually developed the very very perfect contextual understanding. So there was, means what, at this particular point when transformers came, it exactly started giving the answers like human beings. Now imagine guys, it's just like a magic, right? Imagine, let's say you are talking to a chat GPT, okay, and it is literally responding you to what, like just like a human being, just you're talking with your friend. Okay, now it had that ability. And how exactly that ability was generated? Because of this particular thing called as bi-directional approach. The contextual understanding got so well, it was able to understand any kind of text very easily. You write it in any certain way, because it was literally trained on billions of parameters. Imagine billions of parameters. Means you are literally passing the data inside that particular knowledge about, let's say, health also. You are also, he also has ability to tell about, okay, what should I do if I get injured? Okay, it also has ability. Oh yes, definitely you need a human expertise here. So I'm coming over there. It is not something like it's like an extremely intelligent model and all the humans are replaced. Okay, nothing like that. We are coming to that particular point. But imagine, right, it had that base thing. It will give you that base thing. It will know how to understand the, let's say, it has the, okay, if you injured, it know how, what to do. If you want to produce any kind of codes, it know how to do it. If you want to produce some kind of music and you need some kind of suggestion for it, it is there. Means what guys, this whole complete data that was there, right? So this complete data was trained on billions of parameters. Now when I say billions, right, so you can just imagine, right, let's say every single type of data will come into that. Okay, so therefore this particular model is called as very very intelligent model, right? So this is how exactly the whole chat GPT era started coming to play. Now people started exploring different things to it. Now see, my plan tomorrow is to explain about that particular part ki how people are actually building such kind of models on top of GPT. So when I say okay GPT, right, no, know what it is in very very simple terms. A GPT is just like your rich friend. Okay, let's say he's your friend is, let's say, Ambani. In very that's the best way I usually explain. He's your best friend and you just okay tell him, hey bro, I want to set up a company and this is the idea that I have. Now what we are doing, you are okay, what he'll do now, see, he has everything. He has market, he has money. If required, he has the investors. He himself is an investor, but still he will have the, he will have that power. He can pinch you to any particular level. Means what? Very easily you can scale to any different level. So now guys, I'm telling you, in today's world, like 70% of the applications that are created, 70% are based on this particular GPT. They're literally doing nothing, creating their own idea, using this chat GPT API and trying to build the applications. Now see, this is like a very simple terms I'm telling you. There are multiple things which are involved into this. That also eventually we'll discuss. But that much helpful it was. So let's say there is one more thing, right? I mean, usually you guys are faculties, but still we are very much closely connected to the students, right? We teach them and we do a lot of stuff with them. So they are the ones who wants to get into this industry. So the biggest FOMO that is being created in today's world is, are these AI taking the jobs? So our answer is straight no. Okay, AI can give you the simple skeleton, but it cannot form you the architecture. Now if I, okay, tell me, let's suppose as a architecture. Now see, if I talk about me, now I don't build or let's say write the simple codes. Now that is the part that we used to do, let's say 3 years back. That is not a very very big thing. The big thing is that architecting this whole product means when you are getting a certain requirement, from that particular requirement, designing the whole system design for that particular product, like how that product will look like, how that what kind of architectures will be there, how exactly the system of that particular architecture or let's say project will come, where to store different types of data, what kind of data to use, every single thing. So that is called as an architecture of it. So that kind of understanding still it do not have. Okay, it can give you the simple thing, okay, it can give you a skeleton of it, but you need to make the changes into it. Need to make changes. You need to make the changes into it. Means what? Imagine now these changes also can be reduced using something called as prompting. That also is like the main topic that we have for the next 5 days. Okay, but imagine now in this particular way, when I talk about let's say coders, right, purely based on the coders. Now if I talk about let's say 5 years back, what we used to do, we used to write the codes from scratch, everything from the scratch, because there was no GPTs, there was no such tools which can give us the codes directly. So we had to research about it and then we have to build a certain thing. So when you research about something and then you build something, at that time errors were very less. Means what? Building the model was 5 years, 5 hours task, and debugging was just 1 hour task. Because now see, you already know okay what you have done. So even if some kind of error you get, you exactly know okay this is the place where error is coming from. But now what's happening, you have given too much control to GPT. And GPT do not have the answer to every single thing. Now imagine, let's suppose you ask something to GPT, okay, write this particular code for me. Okay, so usne, what it did, okay, here it has given a certain kind of code to you. But now imagine, okay, at a certain level it's fine. But what happens now? Let's suppose, imagine, let's say GPT have a data, let's say till only 2022. Now there might be certain libraries, they might have, let's say that might have been deprecated, that might have been changed, that style of the code might have been changed, right? So whatever things that he has given the code will definitely not be very very perfect one. So now you are getting a code in, let's say, I would say 1 minute, but the debugging is now 10 hours. Okay, literally we have to debug these codes for 10 hours, because imagine you have no control over it. Means what? Whatever it is creating, okay, it is fine only, it is just like that. Now one more very good thing I'll tell you, now the models are pretty smart. But if I talk about let's say 2 years back or let's say 1 year back, when you ask a GPT about certain thing, let's say very specific thing, let's suppose tell me about a return policy of let's say Amazon. Okay, now it, see, now this is a very very private data. Imagine Amazon is what, this privacy policies are like for every single company. That's like private data. It has nothing to do with the chat gpt. Okay, so even if it has nothing to do with the chat gpt, this particular guy is like, he considers himself very very smart. So it will give the hallucinated responses. Means the responses that you will get are completely irrelevant. Like imagine, let's say, you are asking for some kind of medications to chat gpt. So when you don't have the very proper knowledge about it, it will give the hallucinated responses. So that was like one of the biggest problems that we have in the gpts. Now somehow we are able to solve it, but still there is a problem. Okay, so in simple terms, what gpt is giving us the skeleton. It is helping you to do a certain task. It is not replacing you. Okay, yeah, definitely. If you tell me to do, let's say, maybe let's say summarize a particular thing. Yes, now in that particular case, it has that ability. It can summarize that. Okay, so this hallucinated responses or too much control to someone, means imagine now you are asking him to create a code, and the complete control is given to the gpt only. You have no control over it. Okay, it is just creating. Now you need to pick up that code. Now 1 hour up in 1 minute you are getting a code, but 10 hours you need to debug that code. No code will directly will get which is in working condition. Uh, like a very industry level expert, I'm telling you. Regularly we see people doing this. Nowhere people nowhere you will get a very very perfect code at a one single go from any kind of tool. Okay, now definitely we are improving. It's not like it is not, but definitely we are improving, but you need a debugging also. Okay, so therefore all these kind of things should be aware. Like students should be aware of it. Even as a faculty also, you should be aware of it. Using, and one more thing, uh, at a student level, whenever I approach them, I avoid telling them, okay, directly start using this. Okay, at your level this is very very perfect, you have to do that. Okay, but to the students, the logic building is very very important. Because when you talk about production level codes, right, when you talk about production level use cases, yeah, I am telling you, in maximum colleges, usually we have seen students are a bit disconnected from the real world. Means usually they'll be using simple kaggle data sets. Okay, actual requirement is completely different. In the industries, you are expected to write the whole data pipelines, right? You are taking the data from 10 different places. You are taking from apis, you are taking scraping the data, you are getting the data from client. Then you are expected to store that data at a certain place, maybe in a gcs cloud, or maybe in a local somewhere. Then you need to do some kind of pre-processing on that data, and then the process will start. But somehow we are disconnected and completely using the chat gpt also. Now recently, and very funny example I'll tell you. What happened was, there was a student, fresher. So he was not able to understand what code is written. So we actually gave him the kt, I mean knowledge transfer. Someone told him, okay, this is how the code is written, and this is what you have to do. So he was not able to understand what exactly code was written. So what he did, he picked up the complete repo. Imagine, he picked up the complete repo itself, and he directly passed it into the gpt. Complete repo, I mean, you imagine just a github repo he took. So in that particular part, what he did, instead of repo, you can say he just copy pasted whole code, and he just suddenly sent it over there. And in that, by chance, he had no idea, so he also passed the env file. As soon as he passed the env file, on a very serious note, within a span of 25 minutes, we got the whooping bill of 55,000 rupees, because the api key got exposed. Okay, imagine, let's say your password is getting exposed, so definitely there is a risk at it. Our apis got exposed, and immediately we got that amount of bill. So means what? Security of the data is never guaranteed by the gpt. So they clearly mentioned, okay, we do not, it is open model, so we do not guarantee any kind of securities of the data. So when you talk about, whenever you deal with any big mncs, right, so gpt is somehow strictly avoided, because the data is very very strict, and they try to do everything on their own premises. They don't use any kind of third party things. So somehow that is being avoided, right? So just I'm telling you, what, be cautious while sharing any kind of personal things to the gpt. Okay, because they do not provide the security of the data. Because now you'll be learning about prompting. So in the prompting, we have to make sure, without passing any of the personal information, we need to make sure that, okay, we are taking the responses from it. Okay, so this was important to tell, so therefore I just added this. And the last thing I wanted to cover is, the FOMO that I told, right? A lot of FOMO is created, taking jobs. Nothing like that is happening. Okay, because in today's world, 70% of the people are on the user side. They're on the user side. Means what? They only know how to take the API, and they only know how to use that API to get a certain task. That's it. That's the only thing they know. They'll understand about prompting. Okay, and they'll get some kind of results here. But guys, when you talk about big tech companies, right, or let's say when I talk about us, we are onto the developer side. Means let's suppose now Google is there, so Google will never use GPT, right? Why? Because they are the one who are creating it. If they started using it, then who will create it, who will build it? So there are two different sides. There is a developer side and there is a user side. And in the coming years, the combination of both of them will something called as AI engineers will emerge like anything in coming years. Okay, in next, like I would say 4 to 5 years, this field will be very very high, because you need to have the knowledge about using this also, like how to use the technology like GPT and all, how to use the proper prompting. And you also have to have the knowledge about how the GPT is created. Okay, because see, now while telling to the students how exactly we tell, now see, for you this might not be important, that important, but still you should definitely address this to the students whenever possible. Like whenever a good companies will take the interviews, or let's say whenever we approach candidates for the interviews, we are never interested to ask him, okay, tell me how ChatGPT works, because that is like a simplest thing. What you are doing, you are taking a certain API, you are writing some English only, right? Just like a proper English you are writing, means what you are doing of some good prompting here, and you are getting the answer. That's it. But what is to ask in this? What is a core idea? How do you understand or how do you evaluate a particular student? From here, you will never evaluate. So whenever the interviews or the questions are asked, questions will always be asked around transformer architectures. How the transformer architecture is built, what are the components that it has, how the core NLP works, how the core NLP works, what are the different components it has, what are the different embedding techniques we have, what are the different data cleaning techniques we have. So all these kind of things will be done. Because now see, in this whole process, no, you are not doing all these things. Okay, you are just passing one simple thing. You are just, okay, from OpenAI dot embeddings import OpenAI embeddings. That's it. You are writing one line of code, and all the data you just need to pass this inside this one single word. You need to pass this complete data, and you will get the whole bunch of embeddings here. Embeddings means what I told you: image to, let's say, text to, let's say, this data, text to word. Sorry, text to numbers, vector form. Within one single minute you are getting. But at the same time, when you apply the core techniques of NLP, it is not a one step process, it is like a whole pipeline. It's like a whole, you need to think, you need to sit for 2 days to understand how that pipeline will be built, what kind of data should be done in what kind of way. Okay, but now here you don't need to even apply any kind of thinking. So therefore, whenever addressing, and when even as a faculty also, even as a expert also, I always suggest everyone, try to be on the both the sides, this also and this also. Okay, a bit of a reality check I'll tell you. Prompting and Gen AI, let's say we used to use very extensively 2 years back. Okay, now from the prompting, what happened was, whatever prompts were written by hand were not that great. So we introduced something called as a framework like LangChain. So what this LangChain was doing, it does multiple things actually, but one thing was, it was optimizing your prompts in a much more better way, much better way. Right now, what happened was, there was a hallucinations, as I told you, like, a domain specific knowledge, domain specific knowledge domain specific knowledge was not there. So now for that, then eventually after LangChain we had RAG architectures. Now in the RAG we have now agentic RAG. Then we came into the agentic part. Now what we have, to do one single task, you will have one AI agent, so he'll do one simple task. Another, you will have another AI agent, he will do one task. And now to connect these particular two tasks, now we have LangGraph. This whole agentic part that I wrote, complete agentic part. LangGraph is there, agentic AI, that is how exactly came into play. And now we are moving towards the MCP servers. Okay, means guys, why exactly I'm trying to tell you, this field will be continuously evolving from here till here. Now imagine we came in, let's say, 2 years. So it's no longer that this will be completely outdated and there will be completely something new will be coming up over here. But this will never go out of sight. Everything is originated from here only. So to anyone, understanding about core transformer architectures, understanding about how NLP works, core NLP works, understanding about core deep learning, these things will never go out of style. Because see, whatever chat GPT that you see, right, the complete chat GPT is built on something called as PyTorch. It's like a, you can say a framework or you can say a library, like coding आप बोल सकते हो. Every single thing is coded in the PyTorch. You also have you might have heard about TensorFlow, Keras, all those things, right? But PyTorch was much more lightweight, and whatever complete GPT that you see, right, it's completely built in PyTorch, completely built in PyTorch. So even having the knowledge about this PyTorch, right? Why exactly I'm telling you? See, eventually you are the ones who will be more connected to the students. Eventually you are the one who's gonna guide them. So having the idea about this part also and having the idea about this whole part also is something that will be emerging in very very high. Means what? Don't simply go to the parts where you are simply applying and let's say model, taking the data, or let's say prompting something and getting the answer. That is a temporary solution. Okay, when we build certain type of problems, we always try to go for custom solutions. Okay, means let's suppose we will try to build the data also, we will have the data, we'll try to train the models. Along with that, we'll just take the help of this particular AI, help of it. Because now understand, on a large scale, it's not possible to use completely AI. Now imagine you build an application, right? And what you are doing, whatever your let's say XYZ user is asking, you are asking that particular thing to an LLM, you are querying that to the LLM, and LLM is giving the response. Let's say ChatGPT is giving the response to you. But guys, imagine every single response that you are clicking, means every time someone is asking and someone is clicking to this GPT, whenever you are this response is sent to the GPT, every single time there is a charge associated to it. Every single click is a charge. Every single click is a charge. Okay. Now imagine, so that's what we deal with, right? Let's say how to reduce the LLM cost, right? How to make the cost effective solutions. Because if you start querying everything to the GPT, right, means what? You are literally asking every single thing to the GPT. Now imagine, let's say take your own example. When you ask one single thing to a GPT, you will ask 5 different cross questions to it. Now if you build some certain type of application and it is purely querying everything to an LLM, what will happen? Eventually the costing will go high. Yeah, up to certain level or R level we'll be learning about this only, right? So now we have talked about this only GPT. Like this there are hundreds of models. Okay, there are many one models which are free source, we call it open source models, where you don't need to even pay one single rupee. For different types of model, for image generating you have open source models, different models. For textual generation you have different models. For every single type of task we'll have the open source models and paid models also. Okay, so we try to I'll tell you in details, like the whole thinking process I'll tell you. Like let's suppose now my plan is to, let's suppose now today I have got a particular project. So from that project till the deployment, how exactly I go. Okay, so that complete process will understand in 5 days. Okay, but always remember guys, querying everything to an LLM is never a feasible option. So we always try to find and turn around solutions to it. Because imagine, let's suppose you have the 1 million users. Okay, and from the 1 million users, let's say everyone starts hitting the ChatGPT API. Imagine the costing. Like it's like $0.002 something like that per click. But imagine on a high level, right? Like it is like immense. Okay, like lakhs and lakhs of rupees companies are paying to this particular thing. And now recently I'm telling you, let's say there is this legal AI that we are working with, right? So initially what they had was the whole platform was built on completely agentic part, means completely querying everything they were asking to a GPT only. Nothing. You have you upload a PDF, you want to draw some kind of contract, directly ask a GPT to draw a contract. But what happened was the amount of bill that they started generating monthly was so huge. They said, okay, now it is not affordable. We can't handle it because every single query we are directly asking to an LLM. So now we are building a solution for them, which is a cost-effective solution. Means what? Is it required to ask everything to the GPT? Can we apply some kind of layer over here where it will try to filter the query? Okay, if the question is very very simple, then it can directly go to the database and directly answer it over here. If the question is, let's say, middle level, then maybe we can try to train some kind of custom model. If the middle is, let's say, question is little bit higher more than that, maybe we can try to use some open source LLM. Let's suppose Mistral 7B example, open source LLM. And if the question is completely difficult, it is not able to handle by all of them, then only query to the LLM. Then only go to the LLM. So now what's happening? Let's say out of 10 questions people will ask, only one will go to the ChatGPT. And this is how you are reducing the cost of your LLM. Your Okay, so that was, guys, the main idea was what? To not just tell you about what is prompting, or not to tell you about what exactly the generative AI is. Okay, maybe A simple YouTube video of 5 minutes can tell that thing in more better way. Okay, but the idea was what we come, or let's say, basically, when I talk about myself, we have been into the era of classical things, and we have been into the era of generative AI place. So someone having the mixture knowledge of them, this is called as AI engineers. Okay, they have the great scope in future. So when you have the side knowledge of this one also and this one also, this is every day it is evolving every day, but just doing some kind of simple changes into this architecture. It is just like, WhatsApp update, right? How we do today, you have WhatsApp, so they'll give some kind of update next month. So in that update, what they are doing, are they completely changing the complete UI, or are they completely changing WhatsApp itself? No, just adding some simple feature to it, right? You try to update your phone, is it like the complete phone starts performing something like very crazy? Nothing like that. Just like one simple application will be better, some kind of bugs will be removed. I mean, simple things. So it is just like an upgradation. So whatever base transformer is there, we just try to upgrade that particular thing. A simple upgradation to that, and you get something new. Simple upgradation to that, you get something. Okay, so this is how exactly the whole era of, we started from data science and we came to the part of generative AI. This is how the whole evaluation of this particular thing happened. Okay, so guys, I hope it was very helpful to you all. Everyone might have at least understood, a lot of things from here. Everyone was able to understand the whole core idea behind, let's say, when I talk about chat gpt, so from where exactly it was originated and where exactly it is now. So I hope you understood this whole journey in today's session. And from tomorrow's session, now we'll go into the very core part of understanding, what is prompting, how to do a prompting, how to, use the this chat gpt to get some kind of answers, right? So there exactly we'll go. So in the prompting, yes, there are multiple ways. You have one shot prompting, few shot prompting, cot, you have multiple, there are multiple ways to write the prompts. Okay, one by one we'll go into that. Okay, thank you, excellent, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the valuable class. So we'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so dear faculty members, I hope you all remember that we have to mark your attendance. Like the attendance will be closed soon, like till 5:30. You can mark the attendance from 4:30 to 5:30. So make sure that you all mark your attendance and then only drop the session. As you all know, the certificate like attendance is very important for the certificate. You have to secure above 60% of attendance, then only you will receive the certificates. Okay. Just now I have shared the attendance link on the chat. If you have missed out to mark an attendance, kindly mark your attendance. So we'll wind up for the day. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you for joining.